over. 98.5 Speed FM.
Catch us if you can.
Stay here with you. You are a angel, so I am lucky. I am lucky. You are my favorite song. I am lucky. I am lucky. Same. Your love is constant. You've never lost it. Your voice is calling out my name. It makes me miss you, even when I'm with you. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here with you. So I am lucky. I am lucky. You are my favorite song. I am lucky. I am lucky. I am lucky.
A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host today on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Wandedoo Tortya.
And the Speed Lane is where we talk about issues that affect our lives, our communities, our children, and our society as a whole. Now, today we are going to be talking about teenage rebellion. I mean, that phase where teenagers just become pushy and start going against authority or try to like assert independence and then make their own name and somehow just feel like they know it all and try to go against their parents. That's what we are going to be talking about today, because that phase is very delicate. And sometimes when you don't take hold and you're unable to actually handle it properly, then sometimes it leads to you actually even losing those kids or them becoming something not so good in society. So today we are going to be talking about teenage rebellion. How do you handle teenage rebellion when these teenagers become at that age, you know, when they come to that age where they start being rebellious and they start going about authorities and feeling like they know everything?
Yes.
How do we deal with teenage rebellion? As a parent, as a guardian, a brother or sister to teenagers, call in and let us know what steps you take, what you do to make sure that this phase is not one that takes from them, that beautiful person they are supposed to be and just takes it away from them for their entire life. And you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. How do we handle teenage rebellion? Wando, I'm sure that this is not your first time of, actually hearing that phrase, right?
Yes.
And what would you say teenage rebellion is? Let's just, give people an insight so they know exactly what we're talking about on here.
Okay. Well, female rebellion is
Teenage rebellion.
yes, teenage rebellion is a normal development. It's a developmental stage in a child's life, ranging from 13 to 24. Why at these stages the child, both male and female, they feel they know it all. So they decide to do things on their own without the consent of the parents.
Okay.
Even though the parents try to be involved in their decision making, things to do and advise them, they feel they know it all. They feel they can handle issues themselves. They feel they can take care of their life at this particular time. So they feel independent. Yes, they feel independent. They feel they are matured at this particular time. They know it all, and they can't take advice from people older than them. Yes.
That's when that's phase where they just become stubborn. All
Yes.
of a sudden,
Yes.
your child is sneaking out, and you had your child. You had this very peaceful and quiet child, and before you know it, he or she has started telling lies. Maybe a child that was always honest with you, and suddenly they turned 13, and
Yes.
you notice that, okay, my daughter is sneaking out these days,
Yes.
and she doesn't want me to go. Or most things just become sneaky. The things that they were open to talk about, you know, the
Yes.
friendships that they had, all of a sudden, because and when something like that becomes sneaky, then there is something else attached to it. So you start
Exactly.
wondering, what are they doing? What are they not doing? Or what are they
Yes.
hiding? Or what do they keep trying to do? And before then, like when they were up to something and then you asked and tried to correct, okay, they will
Yes.
just listen to you. But then when you get to that stage where these teenagers become rebellious, then as you're talking, it's like you're looking for their trouble. In fact, they will even have other teenage friends who will
Yes.
be like, ignore your mama. What are you saying? Are you still a baby? Your mom is still telling you what to do. Are you
yes.
still a small boy, mommy's boy, and they are still telling you what to do? You that is in SS3, you that is in SS2. So that's that stage we are talking about, because it's a very delicate one.
Yes.
That if not taken care of, that's
Yes,
when
it
you
can-
actually lose your.
Yes. It can ruin your life.
Yes, that's when some kids actually ruin their lives, go different ways, get into different kind of things, unspeakable things that we are still going to be talking about
Yes.
today on the speed lane. So you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. We're talking about teenage rebellion. How do you deal with, or how do we deal with teenage rebellion? Call in and let us hear from you. Okay, so from things that we have researched and things that we know, is actually a normal part of growing up, right?
Yes.
It's something that, okay, most children, most teenagers are going to experience at that stage. But then the way it works or the way it happens, it can be bad. Sometimes it's good because it's also a learning phase. People get to learn. Because if I use myself as an example, the things that they used to warn me about back then, and I'll be like, I know what I am doing. Growing up now, I'll look at myself like, why was I actually doing this?
Yes.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, my name is Yurapo Timothy.
Welcome to the show. Yes.
I'm a director with the Benue State Teaching Service Board.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Yurapo.
Indeed, I'm talking to you from my office.
Okay. Welcome, sir.
Yes, I enjoyed the program. It says it all. But one other important feature she forgot to mention is that in this case, if you they felt they are above the law, or they are above their parents, and in their route there's no corner, no pothole. They will just see their future very bright.
Yes.
And everything about them will be very perfect, and they will have pity because they will say, at the time I arrived like this, my old my age, I will be like this, and at the end of the day, there's a process before you reach like that.
Yes.
So they forgot about the whole process in between. They only think of arriving and having sources and the rest.
Yes.
So one basic thing that you have to do is just counseling.
Yes.
Some parents engage in force, beating, and the rest. It won't work.
Okay.
Although it may work to some extent, but not all.
Yes.
Because I'm saying like this practically on my own humble self. And during this time, my parents used to use cane, because my father, soldier, you know what he said.
Yes.
People work until they revert in counseling, talking to me, telling me the danger, telling me all this act will affect my future. To go back to school, to do this, and I listen. So I want to advise parents that let us emphasize on counseling. Take time to your children, show them intelligently, and so on, and then they will pick it up. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Urapo, for calling in to be part of the show this morning. So, Mr. Urapo has said that, something else is that they feel like they are above the law at
yes.
that stage. And to be honest, if you ask me, I sometimes I feel like it's not actually their fault, because I still remember clearly, sometimes I look back and I'm like, this thing I used to sneak and be doing, like, what was I thinking? I wasn't aware of the dangers of some things that I was doing then. And I would just feel like, okay, I know it all, and they are just being extra dramatic. I can take care of myself. That is what I thought. And I still have memories of some of those times. So, Wando, do you have memories from, that teenage phase of yours? Like, do you maybe know what you did and what you struggle with?
Yes. While growing up, at my teenage stage, I love to hang out with my friends. So there was this time in which I hung out with my friends. I didn't take permission before going out, and by the time I came back, we came back late. Yes, so we came back late from my friend's house. I went to her house to just play, check up on her, and just have a good time. I didn't take permission, and my parents were like, before going out of the house, you have to take permission. Let's know where you're going to, so that in case anything happens to you, you know where to go, who to hold responsible. But I neglected it. I went, and when I came back, it was I received, I was cautioned.
Okay.
Yes, I was cautioned due to my misbehavior. Like I felt I was above the law. Like I neglected taking permission. Yeah, so I went out on my own and came back on my own as an adult. Anyway, I wasn't an adult. I was just a teenager. So and the caution came in for not.
Some of those times, even apart from receiving punishment, like when your parents then discipline you, sometimes you get your own results out there. Because speaking about that, I remember some time ago when I did something like that and just went out. Like, they used to complain, but then my parents were people that would actually allow you, okay, go and play, like not stopping you too much, but then where they know about, not just you don't just get up and then leave the house and they're looking up for you like a child, and then they're looking for you, they don't know where you are. So I actually did that with my sister, and unfortunately for us, it rained that day and we were stuck out there. And the same parents, okay, if my parents actually knew where we were at that point, then
they won't be bothered.
Okay. Or they could come pick us up with the car. So I got to find out, when we were finally found, that my dad was moving around like the place with his car the whole time, and then looking for us. Where are we? Meanwhile, we were somewhere under the rain, and then I had to give as an elder sister back then. I was the elder sister that was leading my sister like this, and then I had to give my sister even my wet clothes to still put on, because she was shivering at that point, and then we were there. But if they had known, okay, this is where we were going to, this is what we were going, we just want to go and play. And I tell you, back then it was more like, we don't even have the reasons enough to go. You just want to go out. I think there's something with that phase, but we'll still talk about it more. If you have just joined us, this is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm with you on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Wandedoo Tortya.
And this morning we are talking about teenage rebellion. How do we deal with teenage rebellion? That stage where teenagers start to feel like they are above the law, they are above authority, they are independent, and they can do anything they like, and they know it all. You also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 090-3648-5868. Call in and let us have this discussion. How can we actually handle that phase? Because that is where, if parents are not careful, if guidance are not careful, then you actually lose your child. And when I say lose your child with their behavior, that sweet child you used to know might become, someone who is into substance abuse, who is into something that you don't even remember them being exposed to.
Yes.
So how can we handle teenage rebellion? So Wando, let's talk about some of the causes, right?
Yes.
Of that rebellion. I mean, although we have already established that it's a normal part of growing up, but then there are some things that actually push them. And I'll talk about wanting independence. We mentioned that, right?
Yes.
And then also conflict with parents. People don't talk about this enough. Like, when you don't have a good relationship with your children, like even when they get to that stage of teenagers, and you don't have a good relationship with them,
Yes.
then somehow their brain at that at time, they start feeling like, you are the problem, and then they want to push against whatever it is. And
Yes.
children, they get to see other families. This person's mom or this person's dad is cool, and this person's dad, he even plays with his dad.
Yes.
So sometimes when you're that free with children, they are able to talk to you, they are able to tell you, this
Their
is what is
problems,
going
yes.
on. But then when it's always conflict, that's when you find that sneaky behind
Yes.
your back, and before you know it, they start using that as something to push against you, right?
Yes.
So do you think there's something else that, like, the driving causes of this rebellion phase?
As parents, we have to be open to our children. Yes, we have to communicate with them. When you don't communicate, you're always harsh, like you're hard on them. Yes, it becomes difficult for them to open up to you, to be close to you, to be friendly with you, and channel their problems, their challenges to you. So if you are not open with them, if you don't communicate with them, they feel they are not safe with you. So they now channel their problem to outsiders, their friends, their peers. So then as a result, it's not encouraging. Because
sometimes they give them wrong advice.
Yes, they give them wrong advice. So they heed to their advice, they're neglecting your own, because you are not cool with them, you are not open, you don't
communicate
with them
the
clearly
right
and
way.
calmly, emotionally.
And also
like
friends. Someone will
Yes.
say being friends with your children. I mean, not friends to the point where you relax, because that one too can be a bad thing. When
Yes.
parents relax too much, and then they start stepping on you, because she won't do anything. Is it not mommy? After she finish shouting, she'll
Yes.
go and sit down. So yes, like being friends with them, but not to the extent where they take your words for granted.
Yes.
Where you say sit down, and the person is like, me, I want to stand up now, I don't want to sit down at this point in time.
Yes.
Like they actually know what they are doing.
Yes,
Right?
and also allow them to express themselves. Yes.
Not allowing them to express themselves can be a cause.
Yes.
Okay, go
Yes.
on.
Not allowing them to express themselves, like tell you what is their problem and what is their challenge at this particular time. So if you don't allow them, they will feel that they are not safe with you.
And I feel like most parents are actually, should I say, guilty of that, not allowing teenagers or children to actually express themselves, because it's true that, we are the parents, like parents are parents, but then it's more like, if you don't allow them to say anything, they have feelings too. Because why I'm saying this, I remember sometime when I was in school, and I had a school mother that used to bully me, and when I would talk to my dad and tell him, this is like the case, and that is what he would ask me, what is affecting your studies at this point? How come you drew back, like
Yes,
you came back?
yes.
And I would say, this school mother used to bully me, and it's affecting me, I think about it. And he's like, what are you thinking about at this your age? What are you thinking about? So
Yes.
sometimes, maybe we are not expressing it, the teenagers are not expressing it the right way, like they are not using the right word, maybe they are using the big words that they hear
Yes.
adults talk about, but then there is a problem, right? And you try to figure that out, if there is actually a problem, because
Yes.
sometimes there is, and then maybe they are not communicating, or you as a parent, you are just not listening. So that's
Yes.
another cause, not allowing them to actually express themselves, right?
And some parents are usually busy. They are too busy for their children. Even
Go on.
yes, they are busy for their children. Even when the child comes to them, like have a problem, they are not available at that time. The particular time if you need them, they are not available. So they now decide to run to a nearby person, someone that is available at that particular time. So it's now become a regularity for them. They have this feeling that anytime I have problem, my mom, my dad, they are not around, they are not available. So they channel it to someone that is available. And then maybe their peer group, their friends, and peer group friends that are from the same age
And
with you.
slowly they start fighting against parents.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
If you have just joined us, this is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And this morning on the show, we are talking about teenage rebellion. How can we deal with teenage rebellion? That phase where, your not so little children start becoming stubborn and start feeling like, well, they know it all, they are independent, and they are above the law. They can do anything they feel like and don't want questions for you. How do we actually deal with that phase? Because it's a very delicate one. I keep saying,
Yes.
and if we don't actually talk about, if we don't handle it well at that point, then that is when these children go bad, and you start feeling, I don't even know when this happened.
Yes.
I don't know where he grew up to this place and like that. So how can we deal with teenage rebellion? Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. Call in and let us hear from you how you think we can deal with teenage rebellion, or what do you yourself do at home? Do you have like teenage children and who have gone through that phase or are currently in that phase? What are you doing? What are those steps that you are taking to actually make sure that they don't go out of hand and they are constantly on the right path? Because if you are not careful, then you lose them to whatever bad influences that the society may have on them. So how do we handle that phase? Okay, so Wando,
Yes.
something else is that that when something like this is mentioned, it definitely have effects that is taking on those children, right? On those
Yes.
teenagers. It has effect even on the parents, because if something is happening to your children, then it's like coming back to you, right? Hello. If something is happening, you can still call us back. Number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. We're talking about teenage rebellion this morning. And I was talking about effects, right?
Yes.
So it's not just on the kids, because that's what some people, there are some parents, unfortunately, who say things like, well, it's your business now. If you like, do your life like this.
Yes.
It's only your end. Like, but then isn't it something that is considered like a shame, on a parent when your kid ends up not the right way,
Yes.
ends up in that position where they are only into negative things, this and that. Like, it also gets to you as a parent,
Yes,
because
yes, it does.
to me, I believe that no parent actually wants to watch their children get
Yes.
into some of these, dirty things that
Yes.
they are not supposed to be doing. And it is
Exactly.
at this teenage stage that you
That
actually
it
hold
is-
them,
yes,
right?
yes.
So some of the effects, I would mention one, which is strained family relationships. Right?
Yes.
They are no longer in that good relationship with family members, because, well, they have pushed far and everybody becomes an enemy, especially the adults. Everybody becomes an enemy. They are
Yes.
trying to stop me from living my life or from going out and hanging out with friends.
Yes.
No, they are not trying to do that. But okay, at that point, the child doesn't know that this is what is actually happening. So that's strained family relationships where, okay, even the dad becomes the enemy, the mom becomes the enemy. And it's just that auntie that always supports in,
Yes,
there's sometimes there is that auntie that will support and say, don't mind your mommy, or don't mind.
Yes.
I think those aunties and uncles are doing more harm than good, if you ask me, in
Yes.
this situation. That will say, don't mind your mommy, don't mind your daddy. That's how they behave.
Yes.
Don't mind. When they go out, I will give you permission to go and
out.
do what you want to do
Yes.
as well. So I think that's that too. So you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090 3648 5868. That is 09036485868. Here on the speed lane this morning, we are talking about teenage rebellion. So call in and let us hear your opinion. Let us hear how you think that we can actually handle teenagers at that stage where they have become stubborn, where your children have become like sneaky and they have started doing things and feeling like, okay, they are above you. You even talk to them sometimes, I don't know, maybe they just get that confidence and like, mommy, me, leave me. You're always complaining about that. That you cannot be saying this. Am I a child?
Yes.
Like, I've seen it happen though. I've seen it happen in my home as well. So you can call in and then share with us what you think and how you think we can actually deal with teenage rebellion. Number for you to call is 0903648 5868. So go on Wando. Let's hear some of these effects that it has on children or even the parents.
Some of these effects on children that has been on my mind is over pampering. When you over pamper a child and you feel like this time you are not supposed to do this, the child is already used to what you've been doing. Like when you over pamper him or her, he's already used to the soft life, the care and everything you've been giving him or her. So when you like try to caution him or her and that time, he or she will be like, no, you have been doing this, you have been allowing me to do it at my will. So why are you stopping me now? So it now escalates to the point that you cannot have a say over him or her again.
Okay, so they get out of control. That means you're mentioning the leading cause of that effect.
Yes,
like
yes.
When they are over pampered and they get to that teenage stage.
Yes.
Then one of the effects is that they get out of control, where they no longer listen to you. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
And so another part is comparison. When a teenager compares him or her with someone else, like others, so they become they feel like my peer is doing this, so I should also do this. So they now become to rebel against their parents. So when they go around their female friends, their male friends, and they feel they are doing this and it's okay. Their parents are not judging them, are not complaining. They feel it's okay for them also to adapt to that behavior or way of life.
Okay.
Yes.
So another effect is that it will affect their way of life, like adapting to all those negative way of life. So I'll mention some of the things. Call them by their name also, because sometimes when you term them with a canopy, then people will not exactly get that this is what we are talking about. Talk about poor academic performances.
Okay.
When teenagers have become like distracted, like they are following different peers, or they now pick interest in something else that they are not supposed to be doing at that age.
Yes.
Like you see a lot of teenagers go to school and people are trying to like tailor their skirts. You hear some time ago we spoke about something like that, or some girls teenage girls are trying to, I want to draw my uniform up. I want to do this. And when I go to school, I have who I am going to attract in school, or certain groups. Okay, we want to become, we want to belong to this club that is outside school activities, outside what school has actually placed for them. And you hear stories of teenage. In this class, we have who is a boyfriend and a girlfriend. Like in this class, leading to poor academic performance. So in that stage, that poor academic performance is also affected. And apart from that, even if it's not affected, at that stage, they are not supposed to be thinking about all of this. You're in SS3 and you're in SS2 and you're thinking about, I have a boyfriend in A class, or I have a, and they say these things, and sometimes, sometimes it goes past school authorities, and it just happens in between. If you've been in a classroom like as a teenager, then you know that it happens. And sometimes it goes out, leaks, and then school authorities are able to hear and then caution those children. But some of the times, or should I say most of the times, actually it doesn't. So another effect is poor academic performance. And then the topping one for me, I don't know, but the topping one for me. Meanwhile, you also can call in to be part of this conversation at any point in time. Number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. It's the speed lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Wandedoo Tortya.
and we are talking about teenage rebellion. So call in and let us hear from you. Hello.
Hello, you are calling Jonathan Taylor from Logo Local Government.
Welcome to the show, Jonathan.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so let's hear you on teenage rebellion.
About teenage rebellion, is some teenage family background. Sometimes the mother the mother lacks proper home training with the father.
Okay.
And sometimes heredity also play a very important role in teenage rebellion. Because, believe me or not, sometimes when you are a youth, before you become a parent, you might have one or two traits that portray bad habits.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But as an adult, you used to control it so that you become a man. So definitely your child will inherit it right
Okay.
from time.
Yes.
So it's just for you as a parent to control, because you know who you were when you are young. So you know all the traits. Sometimes we parents, we know our attitude. It's less for us to control our child. But now we see laxity. Due to laxity, we lack proper home training. We go on businesses. We go on other things to do, so we forget. So that is number one factor of child rebellion. Heredity is play a very major important role.
Okay. So how do you think that we as parents can actually deal with this?
That is, you know your habit when you are young, so you need to control them. You just an exemplary to yourself when you are young, and then you need this. Don't allow what happened to you to happen to your child.
Okay.
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 Yeah, so that is you know how to control them due to the way you behave as a child. Now you are not an adult.
Yes.
Yes, that is also what I want to contribute concerning child rebellion.
All right.
Apart from pets is the last thing that happens to child rebellion. Because when you train your child properly at home, there is just no amount of words that a parent will say, no, my parents don't like this. My parents don't like this kind of dressing. Then no child will even convince your child.
Okay.
Yes, if I do this, my father will not pay me school fees. He will beat me. He will do all those things. So we are to control. That heredity play a very important role.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for calling in to be part of the show. Okay, this is quite interesting. Jonathan says traits. Now that is something that is, let me say, unavoidable, right? And he mentioned a background as well, and how it plays a role with some of the things that children actually do. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
It's Man calling from Benin.
Welcome to the show, Chris Man. We are talking about teenage rebellion this morning on the show.
Okay. I guess this should go in the way of maybe how do they put it? Parent. Is it parent control?
Okay.
Yeah. How do I put it though?
Go on.
Like
the
home training. Yeah. Thank you. Home training. Right.
Yes.
It relate to home training of a thing, right? And you are talking of academic structure.
Yes.
The poorness of academic structure, right?
Yes. How it affects?
My dear, it's affecting the sense that this is our gen. I mean, this generation. Everything, like, we are trying to turn everything upside down. That's how my own view is. You get so, and when it comes to home training, we should not just believe that home training should control everything concerning our life. You know what I mean? So at times you give yourself self-training. Me, I call it self-training.
Okay.
Right? So that self-training, if your parents, okay, let me put it that maybe like orphan. You mean, okay, if they are not with their parents or their guardian, and maybe God brought them up in the street, that is in any way out, though. So tell me, who will be the one to train them? Like, that home training is not there for them. The parents are not there to give them that home training. So you mean they will not train themselves? There will be a wayward child, or so at times we don't let's not put our mind in that home training alone.
Okay.
At least let's give ourselves self training. You know what I mean? And for that academic part, my dear, the way things are going now, like I said earlier, this is our gen. I mean, this is our generation. Things it's not like our father's generation.
Okay.
So yes, what we should not expect it again. Rather,
so we should just
pray. Yeah.
We should just allow it to die.
No, I mean, we should not expect our father generation
Okay.
to impart in us now in this very generation. Right?
But we have to help our own too, right? We cannot allow our own to go south.
Exactly. That is why I get that point that we should not just depend on home training. We should at times depend on our self training.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So there are part of your life, I guess, that you give yourself self training, not from your parents, not from the academic pressure of what your lecturer taught you or whatever, right? So me, my own advice there, if you can still give ourselves self training, when you give yourself that self training, it will.
Oh, okay.
Hello, are you with me?
Yes, go on.
Okay, it will give you every part of your life. Once you give yourself that self training, it will help you in every part of your life, both academic, at home, socially, in how you deal with people. So I think self training too is very important, and that academic session, it's just God that will help this very gen.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you so much, Christmas.
And have a good time.
You too. Thank you, Christmas, for calling in to be part of the show. Now, I think Christmas is talking directly to what Jonathan said earlier about home training background, but then we cannot actually deny the fact that background actually plays a role too.
Yes, it does.
To be honest, it does, because a child knows where he or she is coming from. You cannot tell me to stand up and go and tell my mom to shut up one day, because I know where I'm coming from, my mom. But then I see some people do it, and like I see some people, oh, mommy, please leave me now. Me, I'm doing this, and I look at them. I'm like, I will say that to my own mom. I should tell my dad, Daddy, please leave me. I am doing this. So yes, it actually background actually has influence on how teenagers grow up and then become rebellious as well. And then Christmas spoke about self-training.
Yes.
So I think there he has a point with encouraging kids to actually give themselves that training as well. But then it still falls back to adults, because they cannot come from the stomach with that knowledge of this is what I'm supposed to do. It's our influence on them. Like it's what we show them that this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do this, that they actually grow with. And then Jonathan earlier was saying about how trait. We didn't finish talking about that trait.
Yes.
So truly trait is important, because yes, it happens. So you say, okay, maybe someone's a parent as a teenager used to have this kind of tendency to do this, then you should be working out, according to what he said, you should be watching out for your kids too, in case that trait shows up in them, and you should be able to tackle it. And then he spoke about peers, like peer pressure is like the last thing that causes this teenage rebellion. But then I a little do not agree with that. Or what do you think, Wando? Let's hear you first.
Well, for me, peer pressure is it's one of the things that causes teenage rebellion. But it's due to choice. Like, you can have your friends, you have friends you mingle with together, but if they are doing something that doesn't align with your own doctrine, what you have been brought up with, you can quietly step aside and not go.
Do you really believe that teenagers at that point can tell that this one they are doing is a bad thing? I mean, people know that this is a bad thing, but then to them at that stage, or let me use myself, to me at that stage, looking at friends and things that I would do, I didn't think it was wrong. But to me, I was just doing life, and my parents were being dramatic.
That's where you ask questions. Like, you come back when your friends are doing something, and to you are contemplating whether it's right or wrong. You come back to your parents and ask them, your guidance, ask them, like, Mom, Dad, this is what my friend did, and I don't really know if it's right or wrong. So if they concur to what he or she did, you know that it's right. But if they disagree with what they did, then you know that this particular action was wrong, it's not right. Then you know where to align your ways. Yes, you know where to follow and what to do appropriately.
Okay, so consulting parents, although we'll have less kids who will actually come, or less teenagers who will actually come up and then consult their parents with this. So that would still boil down to, okay, the relationship that
you have
the
with your parents.
Yes, the parents have with their teenagers, to be able to like, okay, for them to be free enough to come and tell you that
their problem.
Mommy, see these people are talking about them that they want to go for an after party, after party thing. When people have to, teenagers have to sneak out. I mean, it would be all fun if they were not taking it extra. They were not taking it too far and doing adult things. But then that stage is where you find a lot of sneaking out, a lot of why you are. And then another effect is these teenage pregnancies that people come out with is as a result of them not listening to parents, then feeling like I can actually do this thing, feel like what is there. And then that peer pressure, me saying that I do not agree with that somehow. I feel like it's actually a leading cause, because sometimes they get to, this is what my mates are doing. This issue of my mates is something that affects people a lot. But people are turning a blind eye. This is what my mates are doing. And they are telling me, you are still a small girl. It's at some point, I grew up to some point and I was like, I started getting my own grounds. Like things started making meaning to me. And I'll be like, no, it's not everything that my mates are doing that's me time. But at that age, to be honest, it's hard as a teenager, as a child, to actually think of it like, even if they're doing it, me, I'll not do it now. Me, I'm different. It's actually very hard.
Yes, because they present it in a very enticing manner. It will be very nice, and you'll be like, why would they be doing it and me, I'm left behind? Let me also test.
Out.
Yes, fear of missing out.
You are a Jew girl, you are a Jew boy.
Yes,
okay.
So you decide to join.
So you also can call in to be part of this conversation at this point in time. Number for you to call is 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. We are talking about teenage rebellion, that stage where teenagers just become stubborn and feel like they are above the world and just go on and do anything they like. Let's talk about it, because it's a delicate stage that if not handled, then you lose those teenagers and society decays even more. So how do we deal with teenage rebellion? Call in and let us hear from you. So something else I wanted to add, that's substance abuse, like when they go and get exposed and some of those effects that it has, when they rebel and then go out and do anything they like. I think I already mentioned that. So yes, teenage pregnancies, crimes, that increase crimes because they are going out without guidance. So I think that at that point, as parents, it can be a test for a parent, and it's a real test. But at that point, it's not the point for you to say, this child has passed me and this child is over me. I cannot do anything anymore, and then just let them be. It's at that point that you actually be stronger and make sure that, they don't get out of control. Right? Okay, so Wando, let's hear you on the way out. How can we make sure that we are not losing these children to that whole phase? It's just a phase, and you should be able to pass. But then if you are not holding it with stronger hands, it will, pass. So how can we make sure that this phase doesn't take our children with them, our teenagers with it?
At this point of time, you give your child your time and your attention. Draw them close to you. Make sure you know their whereabouts, what they are doing, who they are with. Anything that concerns their life, their academic pursuit, and everything that concerns them, make sure you are into their life. Yes, be close to them. Give them your time, your attention. And then don't compare your child with others. Like, you'll be like, your mates are doing this, your mates are studying. It's not your mate that has A's in an 8 subject, and you just
because then they might try to go about it the wrong way.
Yes. So when you compare them, they'll be like, it will become a threat to them, and they'll want to do more. They want to please their parents. minding the consequences that come along.
Not minding it.
Yes, not minding the consequences that come along. So you don't compare your child with anyone. Just encourage them, support them, be with them, advise them, counsel them, than threatening them.
Okay. Threatening them, right?
Threatening them, yes.
Yes, and I would say first thing is like understanding the problem, right? Understanding where it's starting from.
Yes.
Why they're suddenly... Okay, one thing that we cannot deny is this is like a normal part of growing up. It's going to happen. Or it might happen, right?
Yes.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Marysyntia.
Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
The network is breaking. Please, I'll call back.
Okay, if you're able to catch up, because we will soon be leaving. And I was talking about understanding the problem, what is actually leading to them behaving like this. And when you're able to identify it, then you know exactly what you're tackling. Because imagine hitting the hammer where the nail is not pointed at, and you're just hitting on the floor or on the desk, and then it's not having any effect, right? So understanding the problem, close guidance. And someone mentioned counseling earlier. That was Mr. Yorapo. He mentioned counseling, and he said that hitting sometimes, they can get used to it. So this thing of you beat somebody until they get used to it, it's true. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, Lord Calculus calling.
Okay, Lord Calculus. Quickly, we are talking about teenage rebellion. So let's hear you on the way out of how to actually deal with this.
So please, come there. I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Lord Calculus, I don't think we can actually do this today because unfortunately the network is bad where he is. So I was talking about how earlier Mr. Yorapo said counseling and then hitting. Sometimes they get used to it, and then that will not. If you dwell too much on punishment, they'll become. There's something we called dagbo back then. They become like. It will not enter again, and they just it's not to go and come back and collect 5 strokes, or I will not eat. And even from that punishment, maybe they will not eat. The next thing, they are looking for food somewhere else, and someone is offering them something not so good in place of that food. So you see, and then someone talked about controlling, and then making sure that you search for your traits. Maybe there's something that you are doing. And we spoke about how children watch adults some time ago, and then you look out for some of those things that maybe you used to do. You use your own method. You know how you used to hide them to be able to tackle them. And then someone Chris Mann earlier said about sometimes we cannot blame everything on home training, right? And people have to train themselves. But then they don't come from the womb with that knowledge, with that everything to be able to train themselves. It boils down on us. If the parents are busy, you cannot be too busy for your child. That is one thing that people forget. Don't be too busy for your child. Make sure that they are growing up the right way. And then also society, on the other hand, has a big role to play. We spoke about how communities used to raise children together some time ago. So we are backing down on that, and that is affecting how our teenagers, our children grow up. So even that we are supposed to pay attention to. So well, at this point in time, we have come to the end of the show. We have been talking about teenage rebellion today, and I've been your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Wandedoo Tortya.
And also do not go too far, because coming up next at 10 a.m. after the news is King James 90s Top 10 right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Keep your dial locked in and keep enjoying music of your life.
Hello, my Cudi. Ask